Welcome to the Red Dice Diaries, and this is a video response to Sam from Chalice in Chains on his video Elves and Aliens, How Do You Portray Them? Now, I'm a bit late in getting a response out to this, but it's something I've been considering recently. Sam's video asks a very interesting question. How human should you make your aliens or your fantasy races, and how do you portray something that is non-human? Now, this could be quite a lengthy issue, and I'm planning to do a blog post or two to go into more detail, but I wanted to fire off a video response whilst Sam's video was fresh in my mind. There's a few things I think need to be taken into consideration. One, some amount of humanisation is inevitable. After all, we are all humans, and it makes it easier for us to play something if we can relate to it on some level. And not only that, it makes it easier for other players to relate to our character. There's also the fact that a lot of fantasy races are, at least in part, based loosely on real-world human mythology. A lot of myths tend to use non-human races to highlight a particular characteristic of the human psyche. For example, traditional elves might emphasise a human ideal of beauty, whereas the standard Tolkien-esque halfling represents the everyman who just wants a quiet life and some home comforts. With this in mind, I think making the races too alien would be a little bit counterproductive. Number two, I think the best way to portray a non-human is to choose a couple of characteristics that are different to standard humans and emphasise or play them up rather than trying to make something entirely alien. After all, if non-humans are going to be mostly relatable to by the human players, it becomes more important to highlight and play up the areas where they are different. For example, if you're playing a species who lives a lot longer than humans, perhaps they take longer to reach decisions because they have more time to spare. Does your race form attachments with others that last for life, or are their friendships with the younger races more transient because they know that inevitably these people will die before them, and they seek to save themselves a certain amount of pain by preserving a distance from them? On the other hand, they throw themselves into experiences and sensations, with things quickly becoming dull and boring because of their long lives. Are they always chasing after the next big thing? And finally, if you do want to emphasise certain traits of your character, speak to your GM about it. After all, these non-human aspects of your character will have far more impact and be felt more in the session if they're mirrored by the NPCs and societies in the game. So have a word with your GM about your plans and see if they can work your portrayal into their larger campaign, and obviously making sure it fits within the campaign world. So there you are, there's a few of my thoughts on these ideas. You can find a link to Sam's original video by clicking there. If you've enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider clicking on the red dice up in the corner to subscribe to our channel. You can find us on all of the social media as shown there. As always, if you have any comments, please put them in the comments box down below or hit me up on the various social links. Until I see you next time, take care and happy gaming.